In this video, we'll discuss migrating a Runbooks version 1 test plan to Runbooks version 2 within the PlexTrac platform. Let's get started. I'm going to navigate to the Manage section under the Runbooks module within my PlexTrac instance here. I'll search for the runbook that I want to export, and I'll export it. Select a location on your disk and save the YAML file. Now that I've downloaded it, I'm going to navigate to the Runbooks version 2 module. Before we go into that, I did want to mention that we also have a new content library area called Runbooks Database. Within the Runbooks database, you have the opportunity to use the same repository structure you've become familiar with in NarrativesDB and WriteUpsDB. These repositories can have different permissions and allow them to be read-only, read-write, public or private, and you can store collections of procedures, techniques, and tactics for storage that can be used in test plans later. Now, we'll navigate to the Runbooks version 2 module. I'm going to go to the test plan section, and I'm going to import that version 1 test plan. I'll change the drop down to version 1 export, navigate to the version 1 YAML, and upload. Once the test plan is uploaded, I'll see it here. I'm going to begin an engagement. We'll select against my client. Notice you have the capability here to start completely from scratch and choose all of the procedures and the techniques and tactics and the methodology you wish, or you can execute from a test plan. We can search by name, or we could choose different tactics. I'm going to choose the test plan that we just imported. We'll put in the title. Here we see the procedures that were in the test plan already listed out. We also have the opportunity to take other procedures, searching for them freehand text, filtering by either the methodology, the repository, tactic, or technique, or by the tag, and ad hoc add different procedures to this run of this test plan. Once we finalize, we notice we have the capability still to edit the details, and we see a rundown of the TTPs as we're going to execute. Now that we've begun our engagement, we're within the new Runbooks version 2 UI. As we view our procedures, we can see that we can add operators, assign different people to the red team or blue team if we're so inclined. We see our mapping here, and we see the procedure title and information. Going further, we can dictate the outcomes from either red or blue. As a red teamer, I can say that this execution step for this procedure is complete. You can have multiple execution steps. For this demo, we only have one, and I'll say it's partially successful. A blue teamer may come in and say something along the lines of it's been detected and alerted on. The outcome of this, we'll say, is an in-progress status, and the severity, we want to say that the outcome is causing the severity to be a high finding. I'm going to save as I go here. We can also add in assets. We could go from scratch or pull from the existing project any assets that we want to include in this specific test plan run. So for each of the assets, I can decide to remove the asset. I can continue to, per asset, talk through the outcomes. For this one, it was successful. This one, it failed. This one, I don't know. And from a blue team perspective, perhaps they don't have any evidence here. Detected and alerted, and detected and blocked. We can decide via these sliders if we're going to have these findings show up as evidence in our report. We can add our time and date stamp procedure logs from both the red and blue team perspective, and add our notes or any further attachments. So now we can move forward. I'm going to complete this procedure and move on to the next. And as you work through, you can continue. I'm going to say this is a medium finding. It's completed, and we can add in our data here. As you go down for all of the procedures and the different execution steps, once you're done, you could submit this data, and it can become a report. Now we notice that we are in the procedures section of a report. Our Runbooks test plan has been submitted and is now a report. If I navigate under my client to the reports, we can see that my purple team demo run 1, which is what I named this earlier, is here as a report in draft status. You'll also notice test plan procedures that I marked as findings show up here now as findings. They can be interacted with and edited just like any other finding in the platform. We also have something that is not typically in normal reports, and that's the procedures menu option. The procedures that are listed from our test plan are here. Those that are included as findings are noted as such, and all the procedures can be worked through. You could associate a narrative with this and then export to a report if you're so inclined and work with the procedures. Here you can add more evidence, edit, deal with, and even add this as a finding. Enjoy using the new Runbooks version 2.0.